himbos. We are not himbos. Himbo body, himbo mind, himbo soul, himbo philosophy, himbo fashion, himbo fitness, himbo grooming, himbo science. We are the himbos. We are not himbos. We are the himbos. We are not himbos. We are the himbos. Himbos, yeah. Coming gonna tell you how to do your hair.
Oh, Chris Flex. Come on, bro. Bring it, bro, out with me.
It's a lot.
Bring it up. There we go. Yeah. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Himbos. It's your boy, the White D'Angelo, Justin Silver, and I feel like the cerebral Goomba, Chris.
I'll take that.
Chris from Brooklyn.
Sure.
The smartest fucking Dago we know. Chris from Brooklyn is joining us, everybody. The Granite Songbird still gallivanting across the country with Jelly Roll, claiming he's the fittest guy on the Jelly Roll tour. Big feet? I don't know. You tell me. The bionic bisexual Natalie in the booth is always Natalie, come to the stage.
Welcome back.
This is uncomfortable. This microphone is in a weird position. I can't get cozy today. I'm gonna have to lean back like this. I'm gonna be like a black guy driving.
Or an
Is this
Italian,
okay?
or an Italian guy.
Italian guy drives.
Or probably how you started driving when you were a Jew pretending to be Italian in Queens.
No. I drove like I was a very 10 and 2 nervous driver when I started driving. It was only when I got to LA when I was in my 30s that I became the I've never been in a car accident. Fender bender.
You've never been in a fender bender.
I've been in like someone's bumper hit my bumper. Other than that, I'm fucking great, and I weave in and out of cars. I'm an
Me too.
impatient driver. I keep pennies in the cup holder, so if like people behind me, I throw fucking pennies at them. I'm an aggressive driver. Joining us today,
At least somebody hasn't shot you.
it's LA. They're all pussies, and I don't go through those parts of LA where I could get shot. I know where I'm doing it. I don't mind throwing pennies at someone in Bel Air. I don't give a shit. Joining us today, comedian, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and MMA coach Diego Lopez is with us, everybody.
Hey, hello everyone. I don't want a nickname. All right.
Diego Lopez, you know what's odd? What part of you is Spanish?
What do you mean? What part of me?
Like, what part of you?
Both my parents are Colombian.
Are they Colombian?
Yeah.
The jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. there
His
you go.
lovemaking?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you were Colombian.
My beautiful hips.
Yeah.
No, yeah, 100% Colombian.
From here?
What do you mean? Like I was born here, but my parents are immigrants from Colombia.
In New York, though.
What do you mean?
You're a New York dude.
I've been here for 15 years.
From?
South Florida.
South Florida. Good town.
It's a nice area.
I want to know, so how old are you, Diego?
36.
You had this black belt how long?
I've
That's
been
a fucking hard thing to do.
black belt for about 3 years now. Yeah.
Let me ask you, this is true, right? I remember when first of all, jiu-jitsu destroyed my shoulders. I would love to be able to do it, but it fucked me up so bad.
You didn't tap into Kimura?
It wasn't, no, it's like in the very beginning. I wouldn't say I'm
Boxing known to be great for your shoulder.
I'm not an
Therapeutic.
inflexible. No, but it's like I'm not an inflexible dude.
Sure.
But like these positions, like I've always had muscle on me, never like hulking muscle, but like just these little twists, like these Americanas, like a little too far out. I was like, holy shit! Like I was tearing everything immediately.
Wow.
So I could never like really get good at it, but I like fell in love with it. But when I was at Gracie, and like people tell me that there's so many different schools where it's like a black belt here means so much more than a black belt in another place, and here they're just handing out stripes and shit like that. Like, yes, no.
There's
To a
nobody just
degree.
giving you a
Yeah.
black belt.
No, I know not. I know that. I'm not saying that, but there's like places where they're like, yo, to earn, like to get from here to here is like, it's different graduating from Harvard
Sure.
than graduating from a fucking SUNY school. Is what you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of instructors who have a lot of weight to their name, who are very famous, who are very accomplished, who will tend to hold students back from earning certain ranks so that they look good. So it doesn't. It's a combination of they're very good instructors, so the gym is very good, so the average
Sure,
is,
like
is
everything,
pulled
yeah.
up a little bit, but also it's like, oh, it's make you wait longer. Because a black, that a black belt from me, means
Yeah.
more than a black belt from this guy.
Gotcha.
But if you're a black belt, you're a black. Like,
And you're always in the process of learning. That never
Yeah,
ends.
exactly.
That never ends.
No. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. That and striking. You do
Yeah,
striking
I've
as well.
started with MMA. Like I never like was jiu-jitsu first, and then later I started with both.
But you never competed pro. You competed amateurs.
Amateur. I was an
and then
undefeated-
but you train pro.
I've trained some pro fighters, but not like I didn't fight pro.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you trained some pro fighters.
Some, yeah, but I trained with them a lot more than like I didn't like. I wasn't their head coach or anything like
No,
that.
I got you.
Yeah.
Fucking trains Lewis. Lewis is doing good.
He's doing great.
Doing really well.
Doing great.
Impressive. I thought you'd be great for this conversation. The Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou fight is on. I think that's absurd.
Why?
That's a big endeavor from him coming. Like, listen, I know that you saw that documentary on him where
No,
it's like,
it's not Endeavor. Ngannou left.
No, that's funny. Yeah. That's good. No, that's a good joke.
wait, I didn't get it.
MMA joke.
Yeah, Endeavor owns UFC now.
Now, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not up on it. That's a lot. That's a lot to handle.
huge step
I think
up.
he's going to get embarrassed, and I think unnecessarily so, because there's a guy who's like needs time to
unless he
develop.
lands one flush shot.
Sure, but that's the case with anybody. Like, listen, Deontay Wilder landed one flush shot. Would you think the percentages of the difference of these two fucking world beaters hitting you with this flush right hand? It's like,
Doesn't
of course.
Ngannou hold the world record for most
strongest
punching
punch?
Sure.
Strongest punch. They did it at the UFC. What is it called? The UFC.
The Apex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he has the world's strongest punch, but it's like still like he needs time to develop. And I'm like, why would you just shoot your load coming out like that? Like I understand,
It's
like
tough, yeah.
because there's like the
You
whole.
because if you lose before you get the big money fight,
That's
then
what's
you
going to
might
happen.
not get the
Yeah,
big
he's not
money
going to
fight.
get the money fight.
Yeah.
He knows his money's going to be this one fight and then going back to the PFL and fighting.
Oh yeah,
with
because
that.
he owes them fights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was saying that like boxing is what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So I'm like, all right. Fight like an Anthony Joshua. No, that's even still.
That's still hard.
That's still
It's
too
still
much. That's still too much coming out the
It's a
gate.
huge step.
That's a huge step. Yeah, I was just like, that's like. It just seems like ridiculous to me. I was like, he's going to. I couldn't see him winning that fight, and it sucks because like I'm such a fan of his. Like
Yeah.
his whole story is
His story's
so
amazing.
It's incredible. You see the
It's very
documentary on him?
inspiring.
I mean, I know he got caught 3 times trying to get to Europe, which I think is pretty impressive.
That whole journey is like really, like insane. Like
Yeah, there's,
really, like you could say it out loud, and then when you like really like look at the distance and you look, and he talks
Yeah.
about the time and how it went through, like it's fucking mind-boggling.
Like a woman's holding her baby and she's
Yeah.
like crying because she's like she can't hold on to this. They have no water and she's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna drop my baby off the back of this pickup truck.
Yeah, it's
And then
crazy.
you see like that fence they have to crawl over to get into. It was from Cameroon. She's trying to get into Morocco,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the fence, like how difficult this thing is, and like the Red Cross is on the other side. People like rip the fucking
crazy.
pieces.
We should send
it was
them some
fucking
Mexicans.
crazy.
There you go. They
It
know how
was
to
Some
do it.
Guatemalans.
It was
probably
crazy.
Yeah, more accurately.
more accurate.
I think I'm bummed because like that's disappointing because I'm like I love both these guys. But
Sure.
I'm just like I think he's just gonna get embarrassed and you're like all right you're gonna make this one shot of money and
Mm-hmm.
then what he has to go back to
Yeah,
he owes them
Oh
fights
no,
to PFL.
It's the thing-
Oh no, he just has to go back to being the most dominant heavy. He's the biggest
Yeah.
fish in a fairly small pond.
But
in
is he going
PFL.
back to UFC?
no
though?
PFL,
Okay.
who might be purchasing Bellator, so that will open that kind of heavyweight pool for him.
I get their frustration with the fighter pay
Yeah. Oh yeah.
with the UFC. 100%. Like how much of a dominant star you have to be to over like you deserve over $5 million a fight for what you're
Yes.
fucking doing.
Yeah. And
How
it's
many
like
times a year can they fight?
the percentages of like what, like I think NBA players make 50% of what the ownership does, and MMA, like UFC is like 13%. And you're like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Like,
Can I ask you a weird question? It's something I've always been, because I hear the numbers thrown out a lot.
Sure.
If you adjust for, so there's a lot of guys that are in the UFC talent pool that are essentially what would be in the NBA a bench warmer, right?
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so like, and they don't fight very often.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe once a year, and their contract is for like $30,000. How much is that skewing that percentage?
No idea, but it is a valid point.
I've
That is
always
a
just
valid
been
point.
curious.
No, yeah.
I'm
that
always
is-
like more curious to get to the real number because then you can actually start solving a problem.
Sure.
Because those guys, I don't know if they deserve more than $30,000 a year if they're fighting once a year. I know it's a hard thing, but it's like
it should be, with the real unfortunate answer is there should be less fighters in the UFC,
yes,
and they should be making more.
sure.
But since they get paid so little, they like get ran through. They don't have
churn. They have
off
a churn.
season. You know, they
Yeah.
kill themselves year round trying to be in the best shape as possible, being as good a fighter as possible. So they drop out of fights, and when you drop out of fights a lot, you need anyone to jump in.
Right.
So it's just like it's just an awful system that's almost impossible to fix fully.
like
Without dismantling it and starting
Right.
over.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's hard to get out of that first level rung because you have to do so much other shit while you're supporting your
It's
your
crazy.
fighting
Yeah,
career.
it's
Like,
really.
you were waiting tables, you were saying,
Yeah,
like until
yeah,
you
yeah.
started training full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking difficult. I watched a bunch of Tyson Fury fights. I was watching all these like YouTube videos where they're talking about like the best heavyweight ever. and I was like, he's so fucking talented.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the arsenal of what this guy has, like first of all, there's his size, how fast he is, how cagey he is. He can fight in both stances, conventional and southpaw. He can switch in mid combination, which is fucking unbelievable. What amazes me is how fucking bad his body is. With the
It's
ability
really
to do
good.
all
He looks
that.
like a drawing from a child.
How is that even possible? How can you be like that fit and that in shape and that out of shape at the same time?
He looks like the absorbing man from the Avengers comic.
Yeah, he does. He looks like the thing that's like outside the the car wash.
The wacky waiver guy?
But it's crazy to me. I'm like, how are you that out of shape and you're like just that fucking fit?
It's not that he's out of shape. It's that he's not an aesthetic athlete.
Correct.
And we all know there's aesthetic athletes who aren't good at fighting, and there's unaesthetic athletes. Fighting is such an interesting athletic process or endeavor because it's just like anyone can. Daniel Cormier, like a phenomenal fighter. No one wants to look like that necessarily.
Correct.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's skill.
But they have to do everything. I mean, to me, it's like you're running, you're sparring, you're weight training. Like it's just like how many hours a day are you training? Like how is it possible to still be out of
7,
shape?
yeah.
If you're just built that way.
Genetics,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Or if you were just like a fat kid, sometimes you just don't lose that.
You always keep your fat cells the rest of your life.
He's fucking massive. I so want AJ to be the world champ just because I'm like he's such a god.
Yeah.
He's such a fucking god. But someone made this interesting argument. They were like, while he very well may be like the greatest heavyweight ever, you'd have no way of telling that because if you look at like when Mayweather, when they're like, oh, this is the greatest welterweight ever, you're like, at that talent pool is so rich, and they're like, no, Pacquiao's better. Then they have to fight, and then they're like Arturo Gatti, and then they have to fight, and then like, but with him, it's just like he hasn't fought Usyk,
No.
he hasn't fought Anthony Joshua, like he hasn't really cleared out the division, so you can't really like say that. But I would love him to.
I mean, the best you can say is someone's the best of their generation. You know, the argument of all time is obviously impossible to really pound out. But
Well,
also
the rules
it's just
have
like,
changed.
The rules have changed. The styles have changed. Body
types have changed.
size has changed. Marciano was like what?
180 pounds,
Yeah, like,
189 pounds.
He's not very big, but it's just like, yeah, it's a different world now. So it's like, yeah, he hasn't fought Joshua, but he would beat Joshua. He hasn't fought Usyk. That'd be an interesting fight. I'd watch that.
That guy is unbelievable. And and he seems small. It's like a heavyweight. What is he, like 220?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's like what a heavyweight. That's what I grew up knowing like a heavyweight to be. That would have been be a big heavyweight.
Yeah, it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
I watched. What's interesting? I never could tolerate watching the Klitschko's fight because I'm like, it's so goddamn boring.
Yeah.
They just look like zombies fighting.
Yeah.
And then I watched.
I mean, they are Russian.
I never watched Anthony Joshua against Vladimir Klitschko, and I watched that fight at 41. Holy shit, dude! Holy shit, could that dude still like hold he always had my respect, but I was like, he's just so boring, like personality wise.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. But I was like, Jesus Christ, man, he gets knocked down twice, then he knocks Anthony Joshua down. His fucking eye is bleeding. He is a fucking bet.
It's ironic that fight is so entertaining, and they're such.
It really is,
like,
right?
To the average fan, unentertaining. I like it, but I understand the like lack of enthusiasm to want to watch that style because it's just so.
But that fight was incredibly entertaining.
Yeah, really great.
And then you watch Tyson Fury versus Klitschko, and I was like, that was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen. I was like, he's got him such in a daze with his
movement,
just
his
slickness.
feints.
Yeah, he's got him frozen and then taking advantage of nothing on it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you got him frozen. He's just standing there, and then he ties him up, and then they move out. I was like, this was so fucking boring. But it's styles make fights, man. I love it.
That's the kind of the gamble that you never know about a fight, where you're like, you can line them up in your mind and go, oh, this fighter will probably do this against that guy,
And then
they
happens.
fight, and then you're like, oh, interesting. Didn't expect that. Who would have guessed?
What do you like better, jiu-jitsu or striking, or both? It's
Both.
hard to say.
I different things attract me to each of them, and my enthusiasm will kind of waver between the two, and I very much enjoy that ability to like lean on the fluidity and the patience of jiu-jitsu, but then also the kind of grit and biting down your mouthpiece and going to war that striking does. So I like both.
I'll explain this. One of the first times I hung out with Diego when we were in Vegas, it was the first weekend we met.
Yeah.
It was like the second day, you don't gamble.
No.
You don't eat like shit.
No.
And you don't drink or do drugs, which we were all doing. And then there was just in the casino, there was just fights on the TV, and he was just locked in, and he just looks at me and he goes, I like fighting.
Yeah, and so I like both. I have a deep appreciation for both. I'm an MMA guy, but I very much am a fan of of boxing, strict boxing.
Straight boxing.
But I love everything. I love anything about fighting. I'm very enthusiastic about fighting.
Muay Thai to me is like the. Go ahead.
I actually said this to a female friend of mine. Was like, because I don't really watch other sports, right? So she was like, "Why do you have an ESPN Plus password?" I was like, "UFC," and then I was like, I said something else, and she was like, I said something about watching sumo wrestling. I was watching
sick.
Grand Sumo at one point because there was a guy clipping the entire day into like 1 5-minute clip of just
Amazing.
the fights.
Yeah.
And I was watching that a lot, and she was like, "You're watching sumo wrestling now?" And I was just like, "Yeah, anything with dudes banging into each other, I will watch."
What's the one?
Demolition Derby? I don't
Whatever.
care.
Like,
Anything. What's the one they do in Africa where it's like these guys? Oh,
the
shit.
Senegalese wrestling.
It's like Senegalese wrestling where it's
yeah.
like it almost looks like the beating of Muay Thai, and then it's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
dude. These dudes are. Can you look that up? How do you spell it?
Senegalese? I have no idea.
Natalie will know it. She's very.
I mean,
sorry.
I think it's spelled exactly how it sounds.
Because it's very
Senegalese.
similar to the not Moroccan. What's the other?
Turkish oil
Mongolian.
wrestling?
Oh, that too. The Mongolian wrestling where they have almost like this little like it looks like a bullfighter vest on, and they're wearing like trunks.
Yeah, they're in the sand.
Yeah.
They're in the sand. They're
pretty sick.
They're fucking big boys over
Yeah.
there.
Huge
They're
guys.
Yeah, I love fight.
One of their most famous fighters fought for I think PFL and did pretty well. He gassed out, if memory serves, but I can't remember his name. He had like a cool nickname. It's fighting rocks, dude. It's so sick.
I was watching Card-Jitsu last night.
Wait, is this?
Oh
it?
yeah, everyone keeps sending me Card-Jitsu videos.
Wait, go to the heavyweights. Oh wait, what is this one? Let's see what this one is. I think this is it. The one I saw was. I think this is it.
Because there's the
When they start, they're just sort
Pawing
of
at each
pairing.
other?
They're like
Oh.
pairing for position, right? It might be this. This looks a little bit too. The one I saw, the dudes were like fucking crazy.
They're actually
heavyweights.
fighting for pants.
It's the Wedgie Championships of 2004. Ooh, nice.
You saw Fight World, the Frank Zillo documentary series.
Yeah.
That one was fucking awesome.
It's very
the
good.
Krav Maga guys are phenomenal.
We can keep talking about Tyson Fury. I like Tyson Fury.
Good. Keep talking about him.
Okay,
I didn't
so-
think you guys were as interested as I was.
Oh, no, very
Can we
much.
talk about how hard it must be to keep his wife from just blowing people?
Dude, I love that docu-series on him. At Home with the Furies.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, it's just him in his house after he's like so-called retired, but he's not retired. He's an interesting dude, man. I like him so much.
Yeah, that whole
His
like,
bipolar shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Like what a promoter he is great. But like talent-wise, you're like this dude is fuck. He's got like essences of Mayweather. Like I watch him like
Yeah.
He was fighting Chisora, how do you say it? Chisora? I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was fighting like Chisora, and this guy was just coming at him with like head down and haymakers, and then he starts doing like
Shoulder
Philly
rolling.
shoulder
Yeah,
rolls.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, he's so fucking versatile, man.
He's very again. One of the things I like the most about a fighter is adaptability.
yeah.
I love Terrence Crawford because he can adapt to anyone, and it's like that's Tyson Fury has that as well. Well,
He'll take 2 rounds.
He'll outfight. He'll play in. He'll feint. He'll lead. He'll counter, but then he starts computing your style and messing with you.
Right.
And he has such an interesting kind of initiating point of a person where he's like a weird carny, like a weird gypsy.
He's a
carny,
gypsy,
and they're all salesmen. They're all just weird. So he's shit talking you in like a step right up kind of a cadence.
Yeah, he really is.
And it's fucking crazy. And it's
He
so
should have like a
strange.
striped cane with him.
Truly, he should walk in with a fucking straw hat.
Great, yeah.
He's just a really, really interesting fighter. And the fact that I believe both his grandparents are gypsy bare knuckle boxing champions.
Nice.
And
That
it's
is true.
They made him like that's such a crazy. Like his dad was like knew he was going to be a heavyweight champion. Now, given
Everybody's dad who teaches their kid boxing is like, my kid's gonna be champ though. But
who knows how
I get-
much
yeah.
of this is gypsy salesman bullshit after
Sure,
the fact, it's
sure.
still fun to hear. It's still
Yeah,
fun to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as a fighter, like to be a heavyweight,
Yeah, his father was like, every day, you'll never be as good as me.
truly, just do that. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
and
just
it's just like
punching him in the face, bare knuckles. Like,
He's
toughen him
named
up.
after Mike Tyson.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But go ahead, you were saying.
To just have that upbringing of like you're gonna be a champion, start working, and starts boxing at 10, and he's like almost like if you had to make not aesthetically like we were saying, if you had to make a perfect heavyweight, like mobility like Ali, granted a great chin, he's been dropped,
Yeah.
but he gets up.
Great chin.
Great
yeah,
chin.
He was clocked by Deontay Wilder like flush on the fucking chin.
Yeah,
Multiple times.
and this is
Went down twice on them.
And the frustrating thing, again, I'm an MMA fan, but we have to be realistic. And Ngannou, obviously, he has the record for that is a great thing to have in your back pocket. But if you can't set that up,
Yeah.
if you
Sure.
can't make traps and create lures and encourage behavior so that you can land it, it's gonna be easy for for Tyson just stay on the outside.
He was
What's the reach reach differential.
He's got like an 83-inch reach.
Tyson Fury has a.
They both have really long ones. They both have long arms, though.
Tyson Fury, when he's wearing boxing gloves, it looks like those toys that it's like a
No,
nut.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Its
about.
arms are so.
Can we look at what
it's like
both
an
the reach are?
extra arm.
It is
It's
crazy,
crazy.
yeah.
So he has unbelievable reach. He has great lateral movement.
It's just upsetting to me because I like those guys so much. I would love to see Francis Ngannou develop a little bit.
Everybody wants that Saudi money, dog.
That's true.
That's what it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's why that fight happened.
Yeah.
You
They were
saw
just like, yeah, well, that's the fight. The king of Saudi Arabia was just like, no, I don't know this Anthony two white people name. No, we need black person.
Yeah.
Fight white person. We brown. We better.
There you go. We're in the middle.
Yeah.
they had all this footage of him, like Mike Tyson trying to teach him like the peekaboo
Peekaboo
defense,
style.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like the dumbest thing to teach a guy with a body type like that.
Right.
Like you should not be putting your head down.
No.
Oh, here we go. Does it show his reach?
I mean, kind of.
It's so
I
how
was
long
looking-
his forearms
I
are.
was looking for a picture that makes him look like those toy boxers.
Yeah, you nailed
it's gonna
and
be
you nailed
it's gonna
it.
be any picture. You nailed it, Natalie. But all these guys, I mean, Deontay Wilder's reach is incredible. He's 6'7".
It does look like
Ngannou's got
it does look
incredibly
like
long arms.
Stretch Armstrong fighting a person.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Because like the argument for Ngannou doing well against Tyson would have been a better argument if he never fought Deontay Wilder. But like we've just seen a better version of you fight and lose.
that's
Yeah,
true.
like
And
a guy,
draw.
right? Like a guy who's like his the number one strength is the power in his right
Yeah.
hand, which is Ngannou too. But you know what I also wonder? It's like this is I guess this will vary person to person. Like, what's more difficult, doing 5-minute rounds or 12 3-minute rounds? Because you see so many MMA guys gas when they're boxing, and you're
Yeah.
like. You would think it would be the opposite because it's like when you're you're training like these longer intervals of time.
You go deeper into the well. That doesn't.
It's because of how
replenish.
much longer you're going.
Yeah, so it's obviously it's a combination of it's just you're not accustomed to that style of fight, the shorter breaks, and B, you're not accustomed to only having one real weapon. You can kind of spread your energy in MMA. You can use your kicks. You can wrestle against the cage. You can do takedowns.
You can get
You
right.
have one thing really. in
There's an
boxing.
Well, it's like
aspect.
a triathlete pick up some
Yeah.
battle ropes and gas, right?
Yeah,
Similar
yeah.
kind of deal. Like,
Well,
you know
the
what I mean?
better yet, if a triathlete just did a swimming race,
Okay, yeah.
and he's
yeah.
like, yeah, all right, this
but
is,
it says the same length.
yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
it's just a little bit different.
There's
Yeah.
elements of area where you can rest in MMA also.
Yeah.
Like even if you're on your back and you're deciding what to do and you're like there's an element of where you're able to rest. You're not
If
on
you're
your
good, you
toes
can-
fucking bouncing the whole time.
Yeah, if you're good, you can find your pit stops. And not to say boxers don't know where to rest or how to take rounds off. That's if you're a good boxer. That's if you know how to outfight. If your ring generalship is good, like that's where you rest in boxing matches. So like it's just different. It's
Right.
It's
And
a different skill set.
And Francis so relies on that fucking power and those shots. And a lot of MMA dudes are like, because they have to fight because they're defending against so many things that are coming at them, the weakest thing is usually like their boxing stand. They're never in they're a conventional tight boxing. They can't be.
Yeah,
you can't have
you
yourself
can't.
turned out like
You're-
that. Because someone's
you're
like,
eating leg
I'm
kicks.
allowed to grab you from
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
so as an instructor, an MMA instructor, I like to when I teach be respectful of the singular disciplines and their traditions and the why, but also boil that down for what's realistic for MMA. So like I teach a boxing class, but it's boxing for MMA. So I'll tell people like, look, if you're gonna stand bladed, there's a consequence for that. You're making your body smaller, you're a smaller target,
Sure.
but you're taking away your ability to sprawl, and you're going to eat a lot of leg kicks. So if you want to do that, by all means. Now, is there a middle ground where we can be a little more square and still get some of the adaptability of making yourself smaller for the kind of?
Sure.
But you want to just be a little more reasonable.
Yeah, and you have to be able to get in and out. It was interesting, like when I was helping Lewis train his hands for the first fight. This is before we met. I
Yeah.
was like, Lewis, stop, why are you standing like this?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, turn fucking sideways. He's like, no, there's all these other things. I'm like, oh, that's right.
That's right, yeah.
I should talk to Diego and ask him what he wants me to
We're
do.
both like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because I'm always like, this dude, turn your fucking shoulder
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
Lewis.
high
I'm like,
by
you
the
have this
shoulder.
big body, like you're gonna let him hit.
Yeah, it's a difficulty in being as kind of average. You want to be average. You want to
Yeah.
be around the corner, but then have skill sets that help that. But if you're too distinct, you better be very good at that one thing. Connor can keep his hands down and stay super bladed because he likes the in and out. He likes using that rear hand. So
and
it's like,
and he's a great kicker.
yeah. So it's using that distance
Muay Thai
Well,
to me.
except for that one time.
When?
when he broke his leg kicking.
Oh my god, fucking brutal.
That's how good of a kicker he
He
is.
is roided to death now.
He looks
What is he going?
insane.
What is he going? Do you see it? Like you see, like
His nose is over
You see his nose
here.
changing
Yeah.
from all the HGH.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude! You seen like the facial differences on him? You
Yeah.
can say Joe Rogan.
It's
now.
really, it's so funny how
I do like his
quickly-
defense of it though. He was just like, people were like, "You're juiced up," and
He's
he was
like,
like,
"Yeah."
he's like, "Yeah, I'm worried I'm never gonna walk again."
Yeah.
Of course I'm on steroids.
Yeah.
Like,
It
I don't blame him.
It helped me.
As long as you're honest, it's obviously a detriment to your career in terms of being a professional fighter, to be honest. But it's like, hey, look, I'm doing this to recover. I'll come back and be clean. It's like, okay, interesting. I don't know, man. It's cheating, but is it? You're not doing
But
it
it's also-
in the camp. I don't know.
It's also, I mean, Conor McGregor's probably got enough money where he doesn't actually need to fight. He just wants to, right?
Yeah,
he'll
so
just
it's
want
like,
to.
It's the kind of thing where I'd rather have a functioning leg
Sure. Oh, yeah, yeah.
and just be
You don't-
medium
listen,
rich.
Listen. You don't. He would have had a function as someone who broke their ankle in half, right? And I saw my break was a lot worse than his.
Rollerblading and stuff.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, my break. I had a corkscrew break, tendons ripped off the as bad, and I'm older.
Can you pull up a picture of Conor McGregor's broken leg, please?
I think I have a picture of mine actually.
Well,
Let me
we're-
see his broken leg. But
if we see, even if we look at it, we're not
What are you,
doctors.
fucking doctors? Chris from
Oh,
Brooklyn.
clearly.
Chris from Brooklyn said his. Wait, let me see.
Sorry, I think the guy who broke his leg in a cage fight had a worse break
Doesn't
than the
matter
guy
how
who,
you fucking
than the
break
guy
through.
who, than the guy
No,
who broke his
Chris,
leg playing
if
with
I
a dog.
break, if it doesn't, I fell down a hill. It doesn't matter how I broke it. Yes, he has a much more badass way of breaking his leg, but both our fucking legs were clearly broken through the bone. I broke the bone in two places, which is called a corkscrew. And but what I'm telling you is like I took HGH to speed the process up, which it did. And I, dude, I asked my surgeon. I go, hey, if I take growth hormone, is this going to speed this up? And he goes, no. And I was like, are you saying no because you don't want me to do it, or are you saying no and you really don't know? He goes, actually, I don't know.
Okay.
So then I went to
He
my.
was saying no because he
hate
needed
doctors.
He wanted you
So-
to get that surgery.
No, so I had to get
And
the
he
surgery.
can't
No,
recommend
no.
something illegal.
I had to get the surgery anyway. It's totally not illegal because I went to my optimization clinic with my doctor there, and I said, "Hey, this is what the situation is. What's the?" He's like, He goes, "This will absolutely cut this recovery time in half, and the way that the bones fuse is it's going to be new tissue that's regenerating." So when I went back. When I went to take my x-rays midway to see how it was healing, he was like, this is healed already.
Nice.
Then he just took it off. He goes, and I don't see where the break was. I go, so you know, for the next person that comes in here with a broken leg, if they ask you this question, why don't you just find like an optimization clinic that knows what they're doing so you can suggest this? Because this only took me 6 weeks to recover when it was supposed to take 12. So...
I've been asked to start doing
Twice
HGH.
as much.
I did the math just now, guys.
No,
That's
but
twice as much.
here's the thing: is like the way, like Connor and all those roids, like the amount I took was such a minimal amount.
Right.
What he's doing is also for like he's like
Aesthetics.
ah! That's why he's doing it to look like a fucking monster. Because he's into it. Because listen, you got to have like goals and shit like that. Like when you can't fight, he's probably like, all right, let me get
You lift heavy.
like world's strongest man. It's like what's his name? Who's my favorite? The Beast.
Eddie
Hall.
Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall is like, all right, so he's like, all my goal is to wield the world's strongest man. Now he wants to box. Now he's doing body. Like you can't just
need-
stop. Like
yeah.
just how he is. So I think Conor McGregor's just like, all right, let me get as fucking yoked as I can get. I want to see what he looks like now.
Hilarious face.
He looks
all
fucking great.
red.
He's
So
all fucking
funny.
red. He
He's
looks
puffy.
like his lever's just like pouring toxins into his body. He's like on fucking trend.
Whoa, that's crazy. That's so much more different than I thought of. 'Cause
You
I
haven't seen it?
Yeah, right? Like
That's wild.
Holy shit, dude! Look at. I didn't realize his face looked like that. He's making that face, but give me another one, please.
that's 145 Connor. I
That one.
think. Yeah, look at his.
Okay.
It's a guy that look
Yeah,
up. Oh man, the eyebrow kind of filling area.
It makes everything bigger. Yeah, there's a way.
So
By the
sick.
way, just to let
They
people
gave him
know,
tattoos too. Look
They
at
gave him
that.
tattoo. just to let you know, you don't have to do that much of anything. It's not like an on switch or an off switch. I am so pro steroids in MMA though.
In MMA, you are?
You're not?
No, not in MMA.
How?
Because he
Because
doesn't want to
it's-
do them and get punched in the face by a guy on steroids.
Yeah, it's an unfair advantage.
But in every sport,
Mhm.
on a competitive level, right, where they're putting billions of dollars behind it, and they want to see people do these superhuman things,
Yeah, but if the superhuman thing is putting your fist through a skull,
I understand
I'm
that.
all for baseball doing steroids. I'm all for football.
You can't
not
be
so-
for football if you're not for MMA.
I'm not for football. There you go. Look at that.
Okay.
Look how easy it was for me to say that.
No, I'm-
swimming, fine.
No, I'm okay for any non-contact sport. How about that?
Right.
To do steroids. Go ahead. You're not putting someone else's livelihood in your hands. in the same way as a cage fight.
I like when NASCAR drivers are all roid raged up. That's,
And I, yeah.
You know, that's by the way. By the,
Their shoulders are sticking out.
wait. By the way,
Giant traps.
By the way,
it's all traps.
they do. By the way,
Like
have you seen Formula One?
Oh no, they're all neck.
They've got to. No, they've got to be. The shit that they have to do to withstand
It's
the
insane.
G force
Yeah.
is fucking insane. To be able to have control where it's like that nuanced without squeezing the wheel, so you know, it's unbelievable. Like the strength that they have to have. I was just like, there's some like the fittest athletes in the world. I'm like, how? The car is the one running.
Is there any pictures of what's the most famous Formula One guy? The super handsome Richard something. Is there any pictures of him shirtless? What does he look like shirtless?
The British dude, the black British dude.
Is he British? I've never heard him talk.
He's got the dreads and shit. He's handsome as fuck. He's who
we're talking
You're
about.
thinking
He's
you're thinking of
Mercedes.
DJ
He's
from Street Fighter Super.
No, he's in Mercedes. Red Bull's the number one team. He's on Mercedes.
Oh.
I forgot his name.
But it's just got.
Oh man, you bring
This
up a point
Ricardo?
now.
Yeah, Ricardo something.
Daniel Ricardo?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Daniel Ricardo.
Is
There
this
you go.
him?
Yeah, look at neck. Yeah, that's so many
He's not-
G's on your neck.
It's him and who's the guy from Mercedes though? That's the guy. He's on Red Bull.
Oh,
There's a dude
okay.
on Mercedes who's the number one dude. That's the number one team though. They have the most amount of money. That documentary, that series is incredible. You know, you bring up a point now where I like second guess it, but I still I hate to rub you the wrong way on this, but here's the thing. I was like, in every sport, I'm like, you expect these people to do these things that are just like super fucking human and then recover and be able to do it again. I'm like, how are they going to be like? How boring are their sports going to be? Like when you saw when you saw Alistair Overeem, they're like, here's him off the steroids. I'm like, oh, is he my doorman?
Yeah, he looks like a
the
guy.
difference was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go to Alistair Overeem on and off roids.
Horse meat over Ubereem was enormous and terrifying. And if you look at him now, he's retired. He's also vegan now, which is very funny. And now he's doing like a lot of this like weird, like kind of like healthy stuff. That's like, you know, borderline computer guy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
And he,
Like I'm taking young boy blood.
Yeah,
like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And
Who's
he-
the guy who's doing that? Like the billionaire is like, I want to be young forever. So he's
Brian Mitch.
he's
something?
got
Yeah.
he's got little boys coming into a cup that he's injecting himself in his neck and his neck.
It's just young blood, right?
Jesus.
Yeah, dude,
So on the
that's-
left, is that him off or is that him just a little out of shape?
That's him off.
That's him before.
That's
I
a
just
weigh-in.
searched
He's not over.
before.
Yeah. Those are both weigh-in pictures. So like that's him peak, and he's just like.
He's a fucking stud. But here's the thing.
That's a bigger difference there. Yeah.
Here's my opinion. You tell me what you think about this. There's different levels of things like that, right? There's
Fair.
there's levels where you're like testosterone replacement therapy. Like there should be like a scale of like, hey, there are certain things that are allowed because it helps with recovery, it helps with perform. But if you're taking like fucking Diana ball to like put on 30 pounds to go clot, like I think that it should like it's a legal substance.
Hey, look,
right?
I think we should destigmatize doing a little Coke in the morning instead of coffee. It still gets the poop out of you.
Yeah, there you go. It's true.
I agree with
Cleans
that.
you right out.
This is what Justin's trying to do. He's just actively trying to destigmatize what his vice is.
No. I'm not. It's not a
on
vice.
the show.
It's not a vice
and
at all.
just putting it forth as health advice.
That's not. I'm being honest with you. That is absolutely not what I'm doing. But the
Your vice is absolutely looking at your abs in the mirror at home alone.
yeah,
And that definitely helps.
And
with
who's it
that.
hurting?
Who's it hurting? But my point is like, listen, if the average Joe Schmo can take these things to enhance, and I'm not talking about somebody who does it at like a super physiological level, what you're expecting like athletes to do, right? If you're fighting pro, Diego, and you have like fights coming up and you're getting injured from fights, like what your body's going through doing that is going to be different than what it's going through with what you're doing now, the level you're doing at it now, right?
I'll accept that.
Then you also have the injuries that happen. Then you also have your career. Then you're starting to age. Then there's like, I'm just the average Joe Schmo, right?
Justin's
Let me just finish it.
concerned with the last thing.
No. I'm like
Somebody's
the
gotta
average,
tag
and
this
you're 35 and you're still fighting. It's like I can go to the gym and like take this thing just to keep my levels just a little where they normally would be, but you can't, and you have to like your profession is to perform on this level. There should be like a range of what is on like things that are banned and things that are not banned. That's just my opinion.
I'm open to that discussion.
Is that
I'm
the
open
fact
to
that they closed the door on it completely and they're just like, no, this is not happening. It's like then you're gonna make it happen on this level where people are getting fucked up the way you're explaining. Like now you have like someone who's like they are super physiological and now they're just gonna go fucking kill somebody. And if someone else wants to compete on that level, they have to do the exact same thing. Like you make it so it's like they have no choice because there's no
they
discussion.
have to go to the extreme to catch up. to keep up with the Joneses.
Right, 100%. Because there's no discussion on it. Like, everything is off limits.
Yeah.
Everything is off limits. Peptides, like the BPC 157, which like every athlete should be allowed to take. Oh, it's something that's naturally in your body that increases blood flow for injury repair. I can take it from my tennis elbow, but someone like you who's like getting fucking their elbows getting into fucking arm bars and almost broken off.
No, for sure.
Can't take something that's on the banned substance. That's fucking crazy.
This
dude.
is a conversation that should be taking place. The kind of watermark or tadpole for the idea, like I think is a lot of times Vitor Belfort, where he took all the TRT in the world and was able to like fight at the highest level for way past his prime.
Right.
And just like, and then Bisping lost his eye because of that. And it's like, there's consequences.
You know, I didn't know that until I recently watched it. Bisping lost his eye, and I realized
He popped it off on the podcast.
I know that, but I know that I didn't see that until recently.
He thought it was a
And then-
magic trick.
No, but when we were
Got your eye.
when we were with him in Vegas, and I was like, oh, he's got this kind of like lazy eye. He's got the same injury that I have, just times 1,000.
Yeah.
You got the same. Yeah, that's fuck. Yeah.
Yes, your injury times 1,000 is missing an eye.
Well, just like stubbing my toe.
There you go.
The injury times 1,000
Is losing your toe.
Is losing the
Yeah.
toe.
Stubbing it
As
so
long
hard.
as
I
he's-
have
this way.
5% of that. I have 5% of that. But you know what?
As long as
because I was allowed to take TRT, I still have my eye.
As
So
long as you
there's
put
the
Justin in
argument.
the same conversation as Michael Bisping, he's happy. He's like, I'm in there.
He's a fucking bad boy.
He's awesome. Yeah, he's
Did
right.
he took back like every win just about after the USADA thing, right? Like he lost a few fights before the testing.
Who,
before-
Vitor?
No, Bisping.
What do you mean?
Didn't like he there was a couple of guys he lost to that he then went and beat once the testing got more stringent, correct?
Oh, I'm not sure off the top of my head his record that way.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
I just remember that being a fairly interesting
It was
stat.
a very interesting 6 month when they like finally made TRT banned, and then all these fighters who were like killing it,
Yeah.
and then just like, never mind. I look like a guy.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not a 37-year-old superhero. I'm a guy.
Right, that's what I'm saying about like there's
Actually a compilation videos of wrestlers after Chris Benoit dies.
Oh.
And it's just like before and after Chris
bet.
Benoit's death. Like, and it's just like the worst is like Triple H just looks like a fucking fat grandfather.
Yeah.
For like 2 months.
It's because they're afraid to use the Bowflex now. That's why.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I just I mean that whole thing like they talk about it in every sport. I'm like, the pressure you're putting on them, the money you're putting on them, what you expect them to do, and then like just how thrown out they get when the truth comes out about this. It's like they just get thrown to the wolves with this shit. I'm like, that's fucking it bugs
It's unfair.
the shit out of me.
It's unfair for athletes. Our expectations should be lower. Things should be a little easier on them in terms of time off, and
Sure.
if they got paid more, they can take more time off. They can let things rest. It's just it's a vicious cycle.
And that substance list is punitively long of all the things that are on that.
It's crazy.
When I-
Propranolol is on it, which I guess makes sense.
Is it what?
I don't know what that
You
is.
can get propranolol.
It's
is
an
like
anti-anxiety.
it's a beta blocker. For that,
Like a performance.
Yeah, only alphas here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get all that beta out of it.
Wait,
yeah,
that's on the banned substance list.
It's on the USADA list for sure.
You got to be kidding me.
I just like looked through it.
Why?
Once to
So
be
you-
like, how many of these things have I tried?
If
Sure,
you're,
yeah.
if you're a little, can we bring it up, please?
You're like a checklist. Like, all right, what? Two
the
more
fact,
of those.
dude, the fact that the peptides and like low levels
What's
of
it called
TRT,
again? Sorry.
Propranolol.
Beta blockers. Put on beta block, or just go bring up the banned substances. I'm curious about this. Yeah, I just think it's punitively long, and it's like what
They're
they
kind of like
expect.
trying to cover all the bases. Like, oh yeah, all of
They're
it.
just covering too much,
That's
man.
fair
Like,
enough.
even when they had like bigger, stronger, was it bigger, stronger, faster? Where they're talking about, or is it doped? I can't remember which one. But they're like, you're allowed to go work out in altitude, but you can't do the same thing with like
That was
blood.
bigger, strong. Yeah. You can't
can,
blood
but
dope.
you can have an oxygen tank. It does the same thing. I'm like, well, what's the difference? It's like, what's the difference if I take my vitamins or I eat broccoli?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same fucking thing. It's like, that's why I'm saying that they're just there's too
hold
much
on.
blinders
It-
onto
it
that
does
list.
It does the same thing,
Right.
but like there is a difference between taking a vitamin and eating a vegetable in the bioavailability. If the pill is more bioavailable than running at altitude, then that is unfair comparatively.
Yeah, doing the same thing doesn't mean it's to the same extent.
I
Yeah,
understand.
exactly. Or like with
I,
ease, like you still have to go run for an hour. Taking a pill takes a second.
Yeah, but this is still a discussion that we are having, is my point. They're not having that discussion whatsoever.
Right, right.
That's my
Hey,
point.
look,
Is
all
that
three
we're
of us are
having-
right and very handsome.
Yeah, that's true. We're killing it.
I get passionately angry
This
about
is
this.
a good looking podcast.
Someone actually brought this up. I probably want to go, because you just brought up Triple H. This guy, Brendan, can we cut right to this one, Natalie?
Yeah.
This guy, Brendan, asked this question. I have a theory about this.
What's up, Brendan? Keep living your life. I'm gonna do a bunch of slogans.
Interesting.
For you guys.
Interesting Triple H aside though. Scott Steiner, who I'm sure you're familiar with, he was in the WWF for a while, and they were like, "You're gonna have to piss in this cup," and he was like, "I'll do it if." Triple H
that cup would melt
right next
dude,
to me.
show up. Bring up. Scott Steiner's the one.
So
and then he literally went, that went away like that.
Yeah,
if Scott Steiner pissed in the cup would fucking melt.
Oh yeah.
That
of course.
dude, he was the one. He was the one who wore the metal cage around his head, right?
yeah,
Bring
yeah.
up Scott Steiner's. Bring up Scott Steiner physique.
He pees in the cup like, did you have tea? Is this tea now?
Is this Tang? Just pour that in a car.
I don't know how those guys could fucking. I don't know how those guys can fucking move like that on the amount of roids they're on. Jesus Christ.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look
But
at
you see
his
what he-
fucking.
what is
dude?
he-
When delts
and
are that
also-
big, you're like, yeah, you're on fucking steroids, dude. You
Here's a
kidding me?
crazy thing: if
That's
MMA
not
existed when
questionable.
he's younger, he
Oh,
probably
right,
doesn't. That probably does not happen to him. 'Cause
How
he was
about-
like
A good wrestler.
he was like an NCAA champion, I believe, heavyweight too.
Uh-huh.
How about Mark Carr? You saw the Life and Times of Mark Carr. That documentary is phenomenal.
Smashing Machine.
The Smashing Machine. That documentary is him and Mark Coleman. But here, I'll bring them up for a second. Bring up Mark Coleman, then and now, because this guy asked this question. He goes, "Why is it guys like Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, and Arnold look so deflated while other guys look so much fuller at their age?" Now, I'll give you an example of this. Natalie, there's two pictures here. I'm sorry, I'll have you bring that up in a second. Can you bring up the one of the Rock then and now, and then the one of that 72-year-old
I mean, The
bodybuilder?
Rock is crazy. Looking
have-
compared
I have-
to when he was like the WWF champion. He's 3 times.
I
his
have a
size, and he's
theory-
50 years old.
But I have a theory about
people
this.
think he's natty. But what
no one,
so
no one
funny.
thinks that.
It's so funny. Everyone thinks he's natty.
Can you go yeah,
Dude.
go to the one. That one's.
it's just his work ethic.
But that one, no, that
just his work
That
ethic.
one, go to
That's
the
a
one.
Photoshop picture on the right.
That
though.
Photoshop.
That's
Go
a
to the
deep-
one, Natalie. Go to the one I sent you.
Yeah,
where
they're both fake pictures.
Go to the one. Go to the one I sent you.
Dude, he had to get liposuction for his Samoan titties. Because all Samoans
Is
have
that-
vague titties.
Is that why I actually was
There's
on
there's
this
a period
picture
of
hang on.
wrestling.
Here's the one out. You see on the left?
Oh yeah.
See the titties?
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder why his bitch. I thought there were bitch tits from roids.
No.
Okay, but you see how you see how he looks right now, how he's getting bigger and stronger, and you can see how.
Dude, look
if-
at the trap to delt valley.
Now go to
Yeah.
now watch this. Go to the guy that I showed you, the 72-year-old bodybuilder. Go to that.
No, you're doing a great job. By the
She's
way.
doing a phenomenal.
I'll be
job.
honest. If you're 72 and you're still doing this and it's thanks to steroids,
wait.
good for him.
So you see
even
this
if he
dude?
dies at
Whoa.
But wait, you see how you could play it. You see how he doesn't look blown out. He's the same age as Arnold, right? Okay, now go to Arnold now and go to like Ron. Look up pictures of Ronnie Coleman
Well,
and
he's still on
and Arnold. now.
gas.
But listen to my point about this because they're all on it. What I think happens is when those mass monsters, they blow themselves out. So they hit like this max at like 35 years old. Like Jay Cutler, they get to a point where it's like they're not going to sustain that. So what happens is here's Ronnie then, and then if you
Yeah, he looks like shit now.
you get to a point, but he can't walk now.
yeah, that's a joke. I'm making.
But I'm saying like he's
Hold
younger.
on. Can we see his legs? He looks like he skips leg day. I'll tell you that right now.
No, the problem is that he doesn't, and they want him to stop. But the reason that their muscles they all look like deflated is because if you blow yourself out at that young or like at that age at your peak, you're never gonna stay like that. So I think like the dudes who are like The Rock or
So
like
you're saying Harrington's in the best position.
stop for a second. So the dude who's like 72, what happens? I'm like, that guy was probably very fit, very big, and then at a certain point when he's like 50, he's like, I could get a little bigger, get a little bigger, get a little bigger. So I think that's why dudes like this like look completely deflated, or Arnold looks completely deflated, where someone like The Rock or that dude who's like
What?
72 years old. Does
Hold
that
on.
make sense how I'm saying it?
What
little
body part is this?
it's glue.
That's a glute.
It's
Yeah.
sticking
That's his
out
ass.
all the way from
Yeah.
here.
That's
with
his
this-
ass.
That's crazy.
Here, look up Jay Cutler
Never seen a
now.
black guy before? Come on, Natalie.
Jesus.
Look up Jay Cutler now. This is my theory.
racist.
This is my theory on it. Like if you just stay super fit, and then later he's like, wait a second, I could just keep getting bigger later. Then like your
And
muscles
small,
have
yeah.
never hit this like full. They have not maxed out their elasticity, so you can pursue it longer. Yeah, no, is that him now?
But didn't
Jay still looks pretty
That's
good.
Jay Cutler. Now, he looks
49.
fantastic.
He still looks pretty
That
good.
looks great.
He still looks pretty good.
But
But he's
didn't Arnold have to kind of?
but that guy at 72 looks better than him now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, because he never blew himself out. That's my theory. To answer this dude's question, that's my theory. They
Well, we
blew
also-
themselves out.
Wasn't
Don't know
Arnold
that.
told to deflate because post Conan there was no other roles for him.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was too big.
had to
yeah.
get smaller. Like he was, and then once he became governor, you can't be governor on steroids. That's when he really became
100%.
gross.
You don't think he took roids when he was the governor?
I mean, maybe Jesse Ventura did, but Minnesota is not California.
I don't know.
Different beauty standards in California, though.
That's true.
What were you
fair.
saying? You said you don't ever know.
Oh, that guy, that 70-year-old bodybuilder.
72.
We don't know anything about him.
We know nothing about
He
him.
might have been huge before.
This is
he
just,
might have.
This is my theory on it. The
I
elasticity on
agree
this.
with your
This is
theory.
my theory. I think what happens is like they blow themselves out and then they try to hold on to it, but they're just like, there's no. It just got too big. The balloon got too inflated, and even if it goes a little smaller, it's gonna look like that fucking loose rubber. As opposed to if you're like, wait a second, I stay pretty fit, and then as I get older, I keep getting bigger, bigger, bigger. Like you just like.
Yeah.
It stretches out.
It's almost like the muscle version of skin where someone loses a ton of weight.
Oh,
Exactly.
They can lose the weight, but it's still going to
Right.
be...
If you got fatter and fatter as you got older, you
You'd
would look
look-
like a young baby by
Yeah.
the time you were 80. That is it. That's the exact way to say it.
I love how you're outlining
That's the perfect way to say it.
your fitness 401k as we're talking.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
that is
okay.
100% what I plan on doing. Every year, I just get a little bit bigger. That's exactly what I
What do you
plan on
weigh?
doing. One.
And then if you put it in a Roth, you never even have to take anything out.
That's right. 170.
You're welcome, folks.
176 right now, which I'm upset
176?
about.
Oh.
I'm upset about it.
In what way?
I feel like I should be at 180, and it's like bothering me.
Ah, okay.
What do you weigh?
180. That's the biggest. This is the biggest
How
I've ever
tall are
been.
you?
6 foot though.
Okay, I'm 5'7".
You're more V tapered than I am.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
Hey, I know the compliments to give a man.
I think everybody noticed that. All right.
And Chris, that's a great hat.
Fantastic.
This is my favorite. More videos got sent to us of the synthol dudes.
Oh, oil boys.
Oh, that. Oh.
That's such a specific mental illness.
It is such a specific mental illness, and before you even show it, Natalie, that
It's weird that it's like very like centered. There's a lot of like Middle Eastern dudes. doing that
this is
shit,
my
right?
point on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
This is my point on this. Wherever you
They
see
got
so
the
much oil.
Yeah.
whenever you,
Let's go.
Whenever you see this, I'm like, how is this the priority when I see no infrastructure in the place that you're
Oh
in?
yeah.
Like they're never like in a city where like there's stuff going on. It's like now I'm hitting the club. It's always like go ahead, show it. They're always in this setting.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Is that Godfrey?
That's what Natalie said.
I said alternate reality. guys.
Nice. Yeah.
He looks like he's wearing water wings.
Yeah. This
It's
is
ridiculous.
These are the male versions of the women who get
Yeah,
like
with
the quadruple
giant
Oh
G
my God!
fake tits.
Did you
And
ever
by
see
that I mean they're angels.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy?
He looks like he's
who-
gonna fly away any minute. Float away at least.
That's not even. Did you see the Russian guy on that documentary Bigorexia? He was fighting MMA.
Yeah, I think so.
With the fucking synthol, and the guy's like hitting it, and it's like it looks like it's about to pop.
I thought Bigorexia was his goofy Russian last name.
Ooh, that's good.
Bigorexia. Did you see that documentary? Is fucking disturbing. You know what? It's such an unsympathetic.
Oh yeah, you get no
mental
sympathy.
illness. You get it. It's like it's an insecure. It's a form of like body dysmorphic disorder, which is a form of OCD, which I get because I've talked about this. Like when I started getting like hair loss, I was so obsessed about it, and I was like, I can't like go and be like I'm sad today because I'm bald. Like people be like, "Well, get to work."
You're a man. You're in the 30. Get the fucking work. Who gives a shit?
Correct, but I get it. But I was like, I went to therapy. I was like, I understand that my feelings about this are because I've had diagnosed OCD since I was 4. So I was like, I understand that it is just taking the form of this right now.
Is that when you found out
And-
you're Jewish?
You know what? I didn't find out I was Jewish yet. I'm still lying and telling everybody I'm Italian. But like that's what. But I'm saying like I knew it was a mental disorder. These dudes like they're just like it's disturbing, but it's like such an unsympathetic illness.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
they get no.
OCD stands for Organic Christianity Deficiency.
You thought of that just now?
Yeah, it took a little too long.
That
I'll
was
be
fucking
honest.
quick. No, dude, I couldn't
That
have
was
done
all smoke coming out of your head.
I couldn't have done it that fast. I couldn't have done it that fast. But go to the guy, Natalie, the one with MMA synthol. I think you'll see it. I don't know how the guy who fought him. I'd be fucking freaked out as shit getting in the ring with this dude. It looks like his arms are.
I would try and armbar him and see if it popped, and see if we can get some.
Dude, have you seen? I saw a video of this
feel
dude
like
who's a
you wouldn't
professional
do
arm
that.
wrestler who like he doesn't have a disorder, but he has these
Oh, the
giant
giant arms.
hands. Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It must be nuts to be like lit. Like I can't imagine walking through. Like it's got to be like embarrassing until all of a sudden you're 14 and girls are like, huh.
I bet you can really finger me right now.
But not even that. Just toss him around.
Oh yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
I went for fingering right away.
He's small.
I mean,
he's
that's
got
what I
giant
first thought,
hands.
and then I realized like how much like women like to be like women like to feel small sometimes.
They want- trust me.
MMA Synthol.
Is this the same guy? Because apparently he's at risk of losing his arm.
Oh,
Yeah, same guy.
Yes. This is him. Holy
an
shit! Wait.
idiot.
Let me read.
That's
Can we read
Andrew
this?
Tate's cousin.
Can we read this? Can we read this? What does it say?
Yeah, 25-year-old Kirill Tereshin he's a prominent mixed martial arts fighter. in
Wow.
Prominent?
Prominent? Go
Pro-
fuck yourself.
Diego, and you don't know this guy?
In Moscow.
That's what this other, also Russian person.
Let me tell you
Ah.
Hold on, wait. Isn't Steven Seagal also a prominent MMA fighter in Moscow?
Let me tell you something. No. The fucking Russia and the Ukraine, all these are where the biggest fucking badasses come out of. He is not a I don't even know why I'm defending this, but can we see him fighting?
Okay, let's
Type
see.
in
I want to
his
see the
name
part where
fighting.
it says that he has to lose his arm.
Oh,
That's
Ew.
disgusting.
that's fucking gross, man.
Why would you think anybody thinks that looks good?
Because it's
Yeah.
a disorder, Chris. It's a mental disorder. Don't you understand what we're saying?
Um,
Look, he's flexing in the fucking.
Doctors warned him
Yeah,
that
but
he
like-
might face paralysis. In 2021, he had another operation where they removed the masses of dead muscle in his arms, and this is him now.
Do we know?
Nowish.
So when men get body dysmorphia, they just get like
It's called bigorexia, dude.
gross and then no pussy. And when women get body dysmorphia, they get thin and lots of cock.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, that helps with the bulimia.
no, dude. Women get it.
Fallaciousness and bulimia go right hand in hand.
Buddy, let me tell you something. Most women's body dysmorphic disorder. There's a chick at my gym who's clearly anorexic, and you see her and it's like watching a skeleton lift.
Yeah.
I'm like, they have to have a I'm like, she's gonna pass out,
She's working on by opening the door. She's not even getting into the gym area.
buddy.
She's like,
It is. You see her hip bones through the thing. Like she's got like little girls spandex on, and they are hanging off her like
God,
pajamas.
That's awful. Give her my number, but that's terrible.
like they should have.
Just as like my
pajamas.
cock looks so big in her hand.
Well, the crazy thing about this oil thing, I'm always curious. Like, does Russia have like privatized health? Like, how do they afford to get all these surgeries all the time? There's no way he has a normal job. Is he like a Twitch streamer now? Makes like a bunch
No,
of
he's
money.
a prominent MMA guy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Look,
Got a lot of sponsorships.
Oh, here we go.
This is
Ooh.
there's
Oh,
five
look at that.
people.
Lateral movement.
Look at that crowd.
Prominent MMA. There's a guy on his phone, not taking a picture of the fight, texting.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see.
I like how even their MMA fights look like a club
Yeah.
with the balcony and just dudes
It
leaning
all
over.
feels racist.
Dudes in tracksuits leaning over.
Okay.
Is it gonna pop? I want to see if it's.
expecting his punches to be like.
No.
Oops, this is some guy's review
Review
of
it?
it.
Nah, fuck that guy. That guy sucks.
We're
I like
doing-
how tight the referee's shirt is. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. Referee looks great.
Yeah, he looks
This is
awesome.
fucking
fucking killing it.
disturbing. Yeah, bigorexia. It's a documentary on Netflix.
He looks like he's fighting fake Chuck Liddell. The lukewarm man. There you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Oh, weird. They're bad at fighting. Who would have fucking guessed? The guy who inflates his arms with oil doesn't have the discipline
I
to go
saw this.
train for years.
I saw this video of it go down, and I thought the guy like lands on it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I don't have it like that, Chris.
Yeah, mental illness. Let's
I don't
go.
have it like that. All right, what else we got today? The heaviest bench. Someone just broke the world's heaviest bench press record.
Wow.
I don't know if this actually counts.
Why was it trans?
No.
That'd be so sick. Trans woman beat the back.
Like if a trans woman with like just giant tits, just and just like,
You're like, doesn't count. Sorry, honey.
Can I see this, Natalie? I don't know rules of how much is this? Wait, can we see how much it is? I don't know. 1,401 pounds. I don't. That's fucking insane.
Was it Price's Right rules that someone got 1,400 and he's like,
Probably.
I'm gonna beat it with.
By the way, a friend of mine made
1,401.
that joke this weekend because they made that, and I was like, "What a clever joke!" And then I went on Twitter and I was like, "That everybody."
oh, the Bob Barker thing.
the Bob Barker.
Doesn't
Well,
mean
I
your
don't
friend's
feel
not
bad
clever.
because I'm not a comedian.
That's true.
No, you get
And
points
stay
on
in your
it.
fucking lane. No.
Stay in your lane, Natalie. I don't know if this count. Let's.
Is there
if you-
video?
Yeah. If you
Oh,
swipe,
okay.
if you swipe through, here it is.
Let's see.
I don't know if this is considered a legit lift because of the guards on the side, or if he has to lock out. Is there volume?
No, there's no sound.
Okay.
I mean, no matter what, like he's.
Wait, how do you even get plates that go up to 01?
Change
Those are
plates?
kilo plates.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
So
yeah,
each one of
that
those
makes
is
sense.
a kilo. 25 kilos is 50 pounds, basically, right?
Okay.
I don't know if that. I don't know if that. Oh, he's short.
24 is 53. I know that.
Oh, so that's okay. You can figure it out.
I don't know if this is like. We'll have to look at this. I don't know if this is considered like a legit lift because I think it has to touch your chest and you have to lock out. I don't. Those guys are not helping him. You could
Yeah,
clearly
they're just
see,
hovering.
but he still fucking gets this thing up.
Wow.
That's fucking insane. All right.
I mean, just holding that is an impressive measure of strength. But
I
yeah,
thi-
who knows? I don't know enough about weightlifting rules to say if it's real or not. I will say this. I think he's a cheater and he deserves to be killed.
The world deadlift was like 1,000 something pounds just recently. So not even in the double digits after, like 1,000 and not even like triple digits after. It's like 1,060 pounds or something like that.
Jesus.
I'm really upset about this Ngannou fight. I'm bummed out about it.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of his, and I'm like, I want to see him like succeed in boxing. I would think
You don't want to see him get the biggest bag he will ever get.
It's not that. It's not that. I want to see him like do well in boxing and have longevity. And here's what I want.
He
I
can go
want him-
back and fight in boxing again.
I know he can, but I want him to do it.
He can do the thing that
how
you
old is
want
he?
him to do after he loses this fight.
34?
He can't go back and do it after. He
Okay,
loses
yeah,
the fight. He's
because
34 years old.
Canelo didn't way too early fight Floyd Mayweather and is now not the biggest draw in boxing worldwide.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. That's not a fair argument.
is
You're
8.
talking
36.
you're talking about somebody learning a discipline. Canelo's been doing it since he's a baby and just happened to fight, like maybe fought Mayweather or lost to like the greatest ever at one point and is like did pretty well against him. That's not. We're talking about him learning a discipline. Like I'd like to see him like develop as it, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he could still do that after getting this is the opportunity to get the most money he will ever get.
What's the purse?
You enjoyed that documentary where he had the worst possible life, right?
That is a good
Let him
point.
get this $300 million fucking dollars.
If
I
he
wonder
was
if
younger,
that's what it
if he
is.
was 29, I'd be more on your side with this argument. He's 36.
Let him get the money.
I'm dead. It's the same age. It's over. You know, just get the bag. He goes to the
How much-
PFL, does 2-3 fights.
And then maybe he can even go back to UFC. It's not like the door's closed. They take him back for one
Yeah,
fight.
Dana's full of shit.
How
He'll do
much?
anything
How
for
much
money.
money are they making?
20? I don't know.
They would take him back. Yeah.
How much money are they making?
No, way
He
more.
asked
than 20?
he asked
Okay.
for no. What's his face? Tyson Fury said he wants $500 million for the next thing he does. But they can afford to give that to him, right? It's like fucking. They're like
Yeah, they're literally
it's like Arab royalty.
They-
Oh,
say-
right. They could pay it. Yeah, it doesn't matter to them.
They
It's like,
literally-
sure, who gives a fuck? It's not real to us.
there's a couple of random stuff. People say that the Saudi royal family has like untold wealth, that they're like clearly richer than all of the richest men in the world. Like nobody can fucking know. And then there was like this weird thing, like they do the wrestling shows there, and then they said that like
Wait, like the WWE show?
WWE does like 4 shows a year there, and they said that like when they do like they call the big one Crown Jewel, they like when they do that they make 5 times what they make at WrestleMania, which is a 2-day stadium show.
I should start
Crazy.
doing commercial voiceovers.
And that's WWE. And then
I
the
get my-
Saudis on top of it had to pay extra to get like Brock Lesnar there, Goldberg. Those guys are like Brock Lesnar's on a weird deal. Like Goldberg's retired. Like these guys, they have
I'll
to
come
like,
back. I don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
$1 million? Yeah, sure. I'll get on a private jet to Saudi Arabia and be treated
easy.
like a king for a weekend
Yeah.
to work for 3 minutes.
They've really got the white man as like their court jesters. They're
Yeah.
like, entertain us.
You got it.
Entertain us. There's this great. I watch like every documentary. There's this great documentary on the guy who created like the cloning shit, where the reason they got the reason he
Chinese
started
guy?
the Chinese guy who started the cloning, but the reason they did like the royal family, they have this camel. It's the size of
Oh,
like
their
a-
beloved camel.
The beloved camel is like the size of a dinosaur. What the fuck was this thing's name? The guy was like, and they have this Australian guy who's like, he's like, oh, he was a grumpa camel, but he was just magnet. And this thing is fucking, it's the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And so they start
Jesus.
cloning these fucking camels. They race them, but the way they race them is they have like a remote control thing that's on their back, slapping their ass.
I've seen this. Yeah,
Very
I
funny.
haven't seen
Because they
this at
don't.
all.
The jockey is. You never seen this?
No, I
jo-
need to
go
Too
to-
dangerous for the
If you go to if you go to camel, yeah, because they're ornery, man.
Yeah, they're
they're
fucking-
like these ornery things, and they can fucking move.
Spit at you.
But this, what the fuck was this camel's name? I don't know, but it was like this mammoth camel that's double the size of every other camel. So they start like cloning it to get its babies. You never saw the remote control things? They drive along the side of the track in cars, and they've got remote controls.
No, that sounds
Slapping the
That sounds
camels.
like the funnest possible thing to do.
To show camel racing.
How do we not have that in America? We're supposed to be the decadent capital of the world.
I'm telling you, dude,
I
they-
want to do that for my fucking birthday next year.
They have no water, but they have a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, it seems like it.
They party. It's like Burning Man every day.
Well, it's- I think
Yeah.
when you don't have booze, you got to keep
What do you
elevating.
mean, they don't have booze?
It's,
No, they
it's
can't drink
illegal.
there. It's a
Yeah,
dry-
Yeah, it's a Muslim country.
They do drugs though.
Drugs are dry.
They do like opiates.
Probably.
Yes, we don't know.
I've never been.
The Taliban certainly does.
Yeah, they love opiates.
Yeah.
What the hell is the name of this camel? Malachi or something.
I was hoping it was going to be
Is
like...
it Injas? Because that's the name that keeps coming up with world's first cloned camel.
No,
That's not that big
No,
of
that's a
camel
little
at all.
bitch camel.
No,
Look at
they
that camel.
don't start with the good camel.
What's the name of the doc? No, what's the name of the documentary though? The King of Clones or something like that.
Something about camel jockeys.
Mabrakan?
Yeah, bring up Mabracam the camel. This thing is fucking. This is insane.
Mabracam?
This thing's bigger than an elephant.
Let me see.
Chris, what do you think
It's
of
not
winning?
bigger than an elephant.
It's bigger than an elephant.
No way it's taller than an elephant. I bet it's the size of a moose.
Moose are big.
They are big. They're not bigger
No,
than
no,
an
no,
elephant.
no.
This thing?
Yeah, show it to me. Show it to me.
That's not bigger than an elephant.
It's big.
The head is bigger.
Oop.
Now pull me up a picture of a moose.
That's not. Dude, are you crazy? That's
Pull
not
me up a picture of a moose. That's a fucking moose-sized camel right there.
Mabracam.
Which
Look
is
at
still
that
impressive.
thing. That's. Oh, that's. You think the thing on its back? That's the machine.
That's the machine that whoops its
Oh,
ass.
Bert
Show,
Kreischer?
show him the. Show
No, it's
him.
got a shirt on.
Show. Shit, this is a weird show. We're just having fun today. It's like I'm just hanging out with my boys watching TV.
That's what we're
Can you
doing.
show him the camel racing? Like with the. I wonder what the whip is
Electric
called.
slapper.
Yeah, it's like it's an electric jockey that slaps him on.
I'm
the
gonna get that
ass.
for my girl. You know what
Some
I'm saying?
chick. You'd be surprised. I'd be thinking some porn chick had that on like a fucking.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna like. You can see it strapped to her back and some.
She's gonna put her on a
low-rent
waist
strip
and do a
club.
They got it on
webcam.
OnlySans.
Hey, you're
was
right.
good.
Got him.
Come
That
on,
was good.
folks. Let me tell the camera. Yeah. Like I'm Dave Letterman.
Yeah, that's how they race him. There's my notes. Wait, I want to see. I
You
want.
missing Diego doing this stuff.
I'm watching him do it. I saw it.
It cuts,
I'm doing
she
bits
keeps cutting,
just for Chris.
She keeps cutting you right after you do the thing.
Yeah.
I'm
No, she's
looking
doing
for
two things. I
Mabracam.
Do
apologize.
it again. Do it again.
Here we go.
Do it again.
Come on,
Here.
folks. Hey.
How many people are you coaching at Skankfest? Just Lewis?
Lewis, Paco, Harrington, and Dylan.
All the fights I want to see. I missed all the important ones
Who's
last year, and I was so pissed
Who's
off.
fighting who? Is Dylan fighting Harrington?
Dylan is fighting the white rapper guy.
Krakamiko.
Crackamico.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, they're built the same.
Ooh.
I don't think
Is
that's
Dylan
true.
training?
Dylan's
In
bigger
what
than
way?
him.
Dylan's training. He has started training more seriously. I will give him credit for that, which I hate giving him credit.
He is
Harrington,
a bird.
I don't know who Harrington's fighting.
Alex Stein.
Okay. And then Paco's fighting
Danny Dubs.
Yeah, there you go. One of the
Can I work the
producers.
corners with you?
Of course.
Great. I love working corners. I worked a corner with Tenny Atlas once.
No shit.
Uh huh.
Wow. Where?
At Chelsea Piers, they had some exhibition for the Howard Stern show, and it was what's his name? Not Les, whatever. But it was just like celebrity boxing type of thing. But it was still just like so
Still
fucking cool.
huge.
Like
I'm a enormous custom auto fan.
yeah, everybody.
And, yeah, and it's like just like
Yeah, it was one. It was one of those moments. It was one of those moments
could
where I was
imagine.
just like,
I have custom auto's headstone tattooed on me.
oh shit. Oh, I feed the
I feed the
spark until
spark.
it becomes
Yeah.
a fire. I feed the fire until it becomes a flame. I feed
saw
the
the
flame
camera.
until it becomes a fire. Can we end on me showing Chris the camels?
I'm not seeing them racing.
If you just go YouTube camel racing Saudi Arabia,
I think that's a bigger pool than you're thinking that it is.
there's all different types of racing.
Hey, they
with
need a pool. There's
camel.
no goddamn water there. You know what I'm saying?
Ow.
We're really sticking it to this
I would-
Saudi royal family.
I would love to be able to box in those, but I'm just too injured. Like you hit a point where like I just couldn't do it. Like I can't move like that
Yeah.
anymore.
I don't need it. I don't want some
can't.
fucking guy who's been trained for 6 months to throw
That's
the
when you get the
dumbest windmill punch in land.
When I got
Oh,
when
yeah,
I got
okay.
the most fucked up was in these like white collar shows where it's like dudes who had never boxed before and they're just swinging like
Yeah.
I'm like I got elbows in the eye, I got ribs broken by like people like swinging their elbows to the back, and then when I was
What Dylan did to fucking Paco after the bell last
Hitting
year,
the
I
back
thought
of
was
the
the
head?
fucking most dirty shit
What
I
happened?
ever saw. He fucking elbowed him in the fucking side of the head after the bell.
I didn't see that
Real heel move.
while he was crying.
Probably.
No, though I always I used to fight down at Church Street, and Roberto Benitez was like the Olympic alternate, right? We had the same trainer, and he's like a lot lighter than me, but a lot faster. But he was a lefty, and like the sparring sessions I had with him were the ones that's like. The way I got hurt was the way you're supposed to get hurt. It's like that stung getting hit in the bridge of the nose, but it wasn't like I got hit in my fucking armpit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like
Back of the knee. How'd you
someone's
punch me
head
there?
didn't fucking hit my crotch, and I was like, all right, this is like so you can tolerate it.
Yeah.
You're like you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what's
yeah.
coming, and you're like, all right, these are like all of these punches are where they're supposed to be hitting me, and it's like I just didn't block that, or I just got fucking caught by it. I didn't get fucked up in ways like your body's not supposed to bend like that in this sport,
The way
and then it gets dejecting.
Yeah. The way I tell it to my students is like the only people that hurt me are new people. In the same way that in kitchens they say the most dangerous tool in the kitchen is a dull knife. Sometimes the most dangerous fighters are people that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like that's why I took someone's back once. I was doing a private. And I'm like, okay, try to escape from the back. So they're sitting in front of me, and they just fucking slammed their head back at me. I'm like, I never would have assumed to do that.
I would
That's
never
amazing.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I've got hit with people's teeth. I come over their mouth like I got hit in the forearm with their fucking. I'm like, is your mouth open?
Yeah, what
the
the
fuck
fuck?
are you doing? We still haven't found these camels.
I found some camels racing.
Camel-
That's what you want to see.
No. Wait.
have
Hold
them.
on.
Hold
Oh,
on.
there they
Yeah,
are.
they got 'em,
Chris,
they got
see the
'em.
things? See the things?
This is great.
Cool Toyota Tundras that are definitely not used by ISIS.
So you see the things, Chris? So
It's like a little spinny hat.
It's a spinny thing. And
This is hilarious. This is my favorite thing in the world.
Chris is now going to become a gambling addict for these type of.
Can I gamble on this?
You got to go to
Can we have
off.
Becky CSI?
wait, there's the black. Of course, the black one's in the front. Of course, the black camel's in the front.
Natural athlete camel.
He's got an extra bone in his hump.
See, they're not.
So sick, dude.
How fast do these things go? 40?
They're hauling ass, dude. Like that.
He's not. You see, he's not even whipping the thing. The guy, this thing's just running.
That one's spinning. Look at the red one.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
I like how rudimentary it is that it is actually just a riding crop on a fan.
Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand how the camels know to stay in the lane,
There's
You
no
know what I'm
lanes.
saying?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what lane?
but
the
they
same
don't
with
bang in.
fucking
They don't
horses
bang
and
into
dogs.
each
Well, they
other.
don't want to hit each other. They're smart enough to know that hitting something is bad.
No,
be honest,
horses
though.
have a person on them.
I'll be honest.
What
Have you
about
ever seen
dogs?
dog racing? No, dogs slam into
They
each
slam
other.
into each other. That's the thing. They slam into each
okay.
other.
I have gambled on dog racing.
Camels.
Dude.
I love that about you.
There's much smaller
I
camels.
don't love that about
The
you.
most depressing place I've ever been in my life was a dog track in Tucson, Arizona. 50-cent beers, though.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, camel racing. How fast are these things going, Natalie?
Dude, look how sick that truck is, though. That's like an old Datsun.
All right.
That's awesome, man. I'm so glad we got to see that together.
No, there it goes. Now he's whipping the thing. Now he's whipping it. You see
Yeah.
the thing? It doesn't hurt. It's like a fucking. It's like, come on, bro.
We'll get one for the podcast.
I don't think it
We'll do it
hurts.
here.
It's like that's not gonna hurt.
It's like you say with the collars.
Yeah,
Doesn't
no,
really
no,
hurt-
no,
It doesn't
no,
really
no.
hurt
No,
a
it's
dog. It hurts
prompting.
a
It's-
person.
No, I mean it's got a variable range. I could put it on. This level I work my dog. I put it on. I could put it on. I put it on my friends' faces. I go, this is what he's feeling right now. The better you train them, the less they need. I'm a fucking black belt, bro.
Well,
I'm a black belt.
I'm a black belt.
I know that, but I'm saying in my thing, I'm a black belt. Could you fight a 90-pound pit bull? Would you do okay against that?
I would, yeah, probably. I'd get fucked up a little bit, but I'd win. I'd win, but I would get fucked up.
Get the Saudis on the phone. I think we got their next
Let us go to plugs. Diego, tell everybody what you got.
Follow me on Instagram. This Diego Lopez. My Twitter got suspended for making a joke about killing Jordan Peterson. That's true.
What was the joke?
You know that there's a picture. Bill Maher and Jordan Peterson did a podcast together, and there's a picture of them together. And I quote tweeted it. You ever see that picture of that old Victorian pistol that has 4 barrels?
Sure.
I just quoted it with that picture, and I said it's worth taking out 2 innocent bystanders, and that got me my
That's a
Twitter
good-
banned.
That's a good joke. Somebody got very mad because
The new
I said
Twitter
that-
or the old Twitter?
The new Twitter.
I said that Jordan Peterson's fans were pedos, and I got a couple of very dirty messages.
Their fan base is very litigious.
I've been
I don't-
shitting on Oliver Anthony.
I know who that is.
That's the guy who sings that fucking Rich Men North of Richmond song.
Oh, the ginger guy.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of angry
who?
messages. Just random people that find the real caught or whatever, and just
Interesting.
like
It's a good reel.
it's
Okay.
pretty funny too.
I have a podcast with my best friend, Micah Brucey, called A Little Time Podcast. Please check that out.
Chris.
That's it.
Go listen to High Society Radio and follow me at Chris from BKLYN on Twitter and Instagram. Also, I have a podcast by myself where I mostly yell at Mike Harrington called Notes of a Goon, and you can hear me do commentary on Catalyst Wrestling. I wish I could plug my stand-up dates, but I don't know when this is coming out. Also,
Just plug the
third show I've
fucking
done this month.
dates.
When do I get a free SoCal kettlebell?
Oh, I'll give you my kettlebell. I'm not going to use it.
You guys get kettlebells?
I don't know how to.
I want one of these adjustable joints.
I don't know how to put it back together because like
I have kettlebells.
this one goes from like it goes from like 50 to like 160 pounds or something.
What?
It goes from like 20 to 70 pounds.
Okay.
No, no, no,
That's
no, no,
like
no, no.
a kettlebell
in his-
over 90 pounds is
Dude,
crazy.
I was in your house fucking.
Very rare.
Yeah.
There's no way it could, 20. There's no way 20 is the lowest on this thing. It's
25. It's low. I know the lowest weight on that is lower than my 35-pound kettlebell. And I remember being like, this is an interesting thing, though.
Okay, so I'm wrong. So the way the plates are, you would think you'd be like smaller, bigger,
Fantastic
bigger,
product.
smaller, smaller, smaller. I took them out to make it lighter, and I swear to God, I can't figure out the order of how to put them
No,
back
yeah, these things are
together.
confusing. No, you're right.
Why wouldn't they just number them?
It's a Himbos Rubik's Cube.
Why wouldn't
there you
they
go.
just number them? I'm like, I can't figure this out. I got to just give it to Chris.
Also, if you do want to learn how to do kettlebells, I teach a kettlebell class at my gym, and I am filming a kettlebell instructional video soon.
And I'll be honest, as an endorsement, I've used some of this stuff in Diego's videos, and it has helped my squat and various different kettlebell movements that I've been doing.
My man.
As for me, it's at I am Justin Silver on all social media platforms. IamJustinSilver.com. I got a bunch of road dates coming up. We're gonna all be in Vegas. I'm gonna be in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm gonna be upstate in Poughkeepsie. What'd you say? It's
Cat skills.
not shocking at all. I'm tuning it up, man. I got to go to a fucking funeral.
Israel.
For this podcast, it's at Himbos Podcast on all social media platforms and himbospodcast@gmail.com to send in the listener questions. I like when you ask me the fucking body questions because all I like looking at is dudes' bodies on Instagram. I'm gay. Thank you for liking, subscribing on YouTube. Thank you for the 5-star ratings and reviews on iTunes. Please keep them coming. We will see you all next week.
We are the himbos, we are not bimbos. 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 Himbo body, himbo mind, himbo souls, himbo philosophy, himbo fashion, himbo fitness, himbo grooming, himbo science. We are the himbos, we are not bimbos. We are the himbos, we are not bimbos. We are the himbos, himbos.